Hey guys, 66 here, and welcome to a video I'm going to be doing on the new strategies that me and Ace Saiyan have come up with for the new 4.6 update. So Ace Saiyan here is going to be using Dart Farm Boomerang, and I'm going to be doing Ice Spike Factory Farm. Keep in mind this was my first reaction to 4.6, so Ice Factory Farm is sort of like a weird strategy, and it's not that good. At least I'm not used to it yet, but the basic gist of it is that I get an ice tower, and then I get a spike factory to defend pinks at the front of the map, so the ice tower can clean up the rest. It sort of kind of works, but you really do need that dart monkey in the back. And the basic idea is that you get jug defense for a camo rush, and you get an ice shards for non-camo rushes. The thing with this strat is, though, the early game is very difficult, so I leaked a lot of lives in this game, and I didn't really get too much stuff done in the process of leaking all of those lives. I still have really shitty eco, so that's not exactly a very good thing by any standards. And I end up dying to a very basic Moab rush. What I should have done is I should have bought more dart monkeys, but I wasn't thinking about that, so that led to my downfall. I really should have bought more defense. Now this game I'm using Heli Pilot, Ace, and Ice Tower. Well, I picked the Mortar and Ace is my random, but Ace is much better with this strategy than Mortar is. Maybe I should have used Dart, but yeah. This time I'm trying out the Heli Pilot. I put the Heli Pilot on Patrol because that's my favorite setting. Since, Pursuit's annoying and you have to buy an upgrade just to get that. That's kind of a dumb feature in my opinion, but it's how it works, so I can't really do anything about that. And Ace Saiyan here is still going for his Dart Farm Boomer strategy. He is destined to make that strategy work out for him. So you got Bionic Boomer this time. His farming isn't the best, but my Heli Pilot really struggled to that yellow rush just there. So I got Razor Rotors. I wanted him to rush me with yellow so I can test out whether or not it's good. And he ends up getting a Ricochet in order to defend my pink rush, which is okay. And then he sends me some Regen Rainbows. I managed to defend that with an energy and my Razor Rotor, so that was really good. So Razor Rotors are insanely strong now for their cheap price. It's only $12.50, so that's kind of insane. And then what ends up happening basically is that we keep playing, and I have a somewhat decent eco, and with the Heli Pilot, I managed to actually get really good defense late game. I really like using Spike Factory now, even though, it's still not that good. It's still like an average tower at best. So he ends up sending me a Moab, and I basically told him to do that so I can test my defense. And the defense was honestly pretty good. It wasn't bad at all. There was some pretty good defense on that Moab, if I do say so myself. And yeah, so he ends up getting a Glaive Lord for camos, and he buys a ton of defense. But really, I don't think the Dart Boomer farm strategy is that good, unless you get more Dart Monkeys. If you use Boomers a lot, like Ace Saiyan did here, that's going to be your downfall because you have very low Moab popping power. So yeah, if you're using Darts and Boomers, just get Darts, guys. For my strategy, which is what I'm trying to focus on, I did use the Mortar a little bit, but it's pretty much useless in the strategy. It's better to use Ace. I get an Apache here, actually. That's pretty strong because it manages to defend round 27 with literally no difficulty whatsoever. Just mows down the Moabs on Pursuit because it's just, you're not relying on the rotors as much. And as we go into our next game, we're going to start playing on Offside. The first two games were to show off the new map. Then we go to Offside in order to just play, standard competitive stuff. And this time I go for our Spike Factory Dart Heli Pilot strategy. I use Dart Spike Factory defense. The Spike Factory isn't actually that good. I try to defend Pinglet, but the thing is the naturals just get in the way to where the pinks get through unless there's build-up, and The Spike Factory at the back isn't that good either because it just gets overrun so easily. So overall, like, Spike Factory isn't that good. It's better against farms than eco, though. I'll say that much. It's really good in farm because it's actually really strong against naturals. But if they just send, a few Bloons, you get screwed over. He sent a pretty decently sized yellow rush just there, but I managed to defend with a Spike Pole and 2 Dart Monkeys, as well as, I think, an energy. So then he sends me leads. I sort of get screwed over. I have the energy. I basically tank some of the lives from the leads, and I use energy to kill things other than leads. I get a Razor Rotors, and I sell the top Spike Factory, get another Spike Factory at the bottom. The point of this one is to take care of ceramics. Since the Razor Rotors take care of everything, ceramics show up, it pops the ceramic layer, and then the Razor Rotors can take care of the rest. Because with bigger stacks, like 1 or 2 sets will take care of it. And then I send him a Moab, I think, and he defends it with a turbocharge, so it's still a pretty good strategy using the boomer. There I set my heli pilot to pursuit. Don't use pursuit with Razor Rotors, guys. It doesn't work because it stays away from the Bloons and uses its guns, whereas like the rotors are the strongest part of the whole tower, so that's pretty dumb in my opinion, but it is what it is. I can't really do anything about it. As you can see there, my Spike Factory saved me from those ceramics, so it's definitely still a decent tower, to say the least. It's not bad. And this time I get a Dart Monkey farm heli pilot strategy. I really like the heli pilot. I feel like it's doing better than the Spike Factory in this update. Though maybe that's just me, but I like it. I personally think that the heli pilot is a great tower, and you shouldn't look down on it like ever because it's so strong and it can do a lot of stuff. So in this battle, I go for very cheap defense using Dart Monkey. Even though I do keep those 2 other darts, no, I sell them here because I think I had to do something in the middle of the battle, so I didn't know it was round 8 already. I ended up over defending a little bit since I used my energy, and I bought another Dart Monkey selling a farm. But I just panicked because I was like, it's round 8. And now for leads, I get up a chipper, which ends up being pretty good. And now I get up my my heli pilot. Chipper was my random, and it's actually still pretty good as a random. It's not that good as an actual tower though. And I think Ace is saying here, yeah, he dies to camos because he doesn't get Dart Monkey for some reason. He tries to defend with boomerangs, and sadly it does not work out for him. He just died to camos. That sort of sucks for him, but whatever. So now here I'm doing Tack Farm Spike Factory. I don't know why I decided to use Tack, but I'm going full Greedster with Tack Farm, and Ace is saying doesn't punish on it because I guess he thought I could defend. The Spike Factory isn't too good when it comes to defending naturals. It's just okay, especially when you don't upgrade it. But it's already a $600 investment, so upgrading is actually a pretty big investment. So then there's some rushes that he does, but they don't really do much. Actually, no, he doesn't opt to rush, I think. Yeah, he doesn't opt to rush in this. I do a yellow rush. He ends up having to get a Ring of Fire in order to defend, which completely messes up the money he had, which could have bought Republic. He uses Republics, and so do I, but I use Republics later than him, so we have different strategies. It looks like my farming is always, like, better though. He gets ahead in farms, but I usually manage to get factory faster. But here he dies to camos again because he couldn't get the turbocharge in time, which kind of sucks for him, but yeah, it is what it is. Again, he should have just gone Dart Monkeys considering how small the rush was. It was just camo blacks. I didn't have the money to afford a bigger rush. This time I went for Boomer Farm Heli Pilot. I know you see Dart there as the third tower, but here's the thing. When you get Heli Pilot, it has to go the fourth slot because of the simple fact that, you know, there's like spikes and stuff. And it has 2 abilities, so you need the spike slot to get that second ability. If you can understand what I mean. So yeah, if you see your heli pilot in a weird spot, remember that, because if you try to click 3 hotkey to get heli pilot, if you picked it, it's not going to be there. You have to click the 4 hotkey on Steam and Windows 10. Just wanted to make sure you guys knew about that, since it could screw you over in a game. Very well could happen. So here he uses a ricochet plus a tack sprayer defense, and I use a razor rotors plus bionic boomer defense. Now what I really hate is when you get the pursuit upgrade, it automatically sets your heli pilot to pursuit, which makes no sense to me. How did I kill him there? I think I did a camo rush, I'm not sure. So I end up killing Ace Assassin here. And, well, I just want to go over what happened in that game. Basically, he went way too greedy. He had 5 farm units by round 14, and I managed to punish on that and kill him with a rush. Since he was focusing way too hard on farms and not hard enough on his actual defense. So that's a thing. And that manages to screw him over because he did too many farms. This game I went for engineer, farm, and sniper. So I don't really know what I was thinking with this strategy, because it has like no reliable Moab defense whatsoever. But I guess I just did it to do it. So he actually goes for Dart Farm Boomer again. He is always going for this strat, except for like the last game. So if you want to use Dart Farm Boomer, just look at how he's doing it and don't do exactly the opposite of what he does, because Ace Assassin kind of sucks. So I sell my mortar and I get a Bloon Trap. And the Bloon Trap is actually quite effective on offside because of that point you can get on the tip of the track where I have my Bloon Trap right now. So that's actually pretty decent, but you have to make sure you collect your Bloon Trap, or else you're gonna get screwed over by like reds. Because if you don't collect your Bloon Trap, then that's your main defense, and you keep your sentries away from the Bloon Trap so you get more money. So then you're even more screwed over. Round 18, I get a bunch of snipers. I mean, it won't kill a Moab, like, at all. So that's kind of one of the shittier parts about the whole thing. If you put your Bloon Trap, like, somewhere further back, it might be better. But the thing is, then your sentry guns kill everything before they get to the Bloon Trap. So it's really a dilemma to defend Moabs with a Bloon Trap defense. Usually you have Dart, Bloon Trap, and Ace, so it's an equal strategy, so you can just sell the Bloon Trap later on in the game to get darts. And you can buy another one at the back if you want, but you don't have to, so that's the thing. And here, as you can see, I get ahead in farms by using the bank with Republic spam. So that's something I managed to do, where I get a bunch of Republics, and he just dies here to AI, which is really dumb. I don't know. I don't understand how he managed to die to AI. But then here comes our last game, which is on Water Hazard here. So in this game, I use Boat Farm Spike Factory with a Dartling random, and he uses Dart Farm Boat also with a Dartling gun random. Dartling gun was actually really good on this map. I don't know if I played it again, would I go with Dartling gun or a Spike Factory? I actually don't know, but the thing is, you can just use Destroyer, so I think I would still go Spike Factory since I need something to pop the ZOMG layer. But then again, Dartling is pretty good too. I can just spam Dartlings. So that's sort of a dilemma. Or you can just use Dart like Ace is saying it, but at the same time, he also had Dartling as his random. So Yeah, on water maps, boat is still definitely a really good strategy. Not even full water maps, just a bit of water in good spots and a decent chunk of it. Ink blot, hazard, even ice flow to an extent, but you still use sub and boat on ice flow. So in both of those maps, boats are definitely part of the dominant strategy because you can just get boats up. And on ice flow, people use eco, so they aren't as strong as they would be on water hazard, to be honest. Subs are just good, and you can get like ninja and stuff and ice, but boats are still good. And on water hazard, on ink blot, and snowy castle, they're particularly good because people opt to go farms on those maps, especially with Republic buff. People are definitely going to use farms more on snowy castle. And because of that simple fact, boats are better because they're not going to send constant blues. Instead, they're going to send pinks, in which case you just get a grape shot with faster shooting on last, and that fully defends pinks, which allows you to get a lot more eco. Eco is usually better with boats. I don't know why I use farm on this map, but at the same time, you know, I know Ace of Sane well enough, and I know that he cannot defend. So I went farms, and farms are just better on these longer maps. I know, right? It's also better on shorter maps. It's just the really long maps where eco can excel. Farms are still better in the new update, guys, don't worry. I kind of only did eco at the beginning because of some interesting stuff like the Ice Spike Factory Dart Monkey strategy. Because if I went farm with that, Ice Spec, I can't really defend anything properly. Well, I can, but I can't really do much with camos. And here I use the newly buffed ability, and that saved my ass right there. So the $16,000 buff isn't too insignificant, as you can see. But I feel like the Hydro Rockets itself is too expensive, so that's why people don't use it. It isn't actually because the fourth tier is bad. The fourth tier at 20k is good, though. Yeah, the 16k is much more reasonable considering it's not actually that good of an ability or a tower. But I feel the Hydro Rockets itself should be lowered to 5,000 since if you get a laser cannon, it comes with the faster barrel. But if you get Hydro Rockets, it doesn't. So yeah, I feel like it's much better to get a laser cannon still because the fourth tier is only for later game. But the third tier, that's for early game. And here I get a bunch of spike factories as I'm about to rush Ace of Sane. The reasoning behind getting so many factories is just so that if he rushes with anything, I can just spike storm celery by spam and just trash him because Spike Factory is the strongest late game tower standalone currently. With other towers like Ninja and Ice can be really good as well, but standalone Spike Factory is definitely the best late game tower. And I end up rushing with Space ZMOMGs and then fast cooldown ZMOMGs, followed by a bunch of fast cooldown Moabs. The reason for this is that he has boats to take down any BFB, and by sending a bunch of, you know, Moabs on top of ZMOMGs while all the towers are distracted, that's really strong. So that's it for today, guys. Take care, you all. Goodbye.